What's going on, everybody? Welcome back to Redriveraviation. Hope you guys had a fantastic day today. And today we have massive unboxing number 26 for you guys. I really hope you guys are excited for today's video. Today we have a very exciting massive unboxing for you guys. 10 awesome models in today's unboxing. I really hope you guys are excited for it. Without any further delay, let's jump into it, everybody. Alrighty, everybody, let's get massive unboxing 26 kicked off. So I believe we have about, like I said, 10 models in here, maybe 9, something like that. But we have another retro unboxing for you guys today, as today's first box comes from West Coast Diecast. This is my very first order from them. I've heard some good things about West Coast Diecast, so I'm really eager to see what they're all about here. So let's get this box open and see what we have. Alright, so it looks like we got some sort of fuel truck for free, I believe that is, so that's a really nice gesture to start out, and I'm very pleased to get to see that to start. That is very nice of them. But in here, like I said, we have a few models, and let's get started with these. All retro today, and let's get started. Our first model is a pretty unique one. This is going to be the TWA Convair CV880. Really excited to have this one. Really nice asset here for Retro Tulsa. I'll talk about all of them once I get them out, but we'll start with that one. Following that, we have another really cool Convair. This is the American Airlines Convair CV990. Another really cool aircraft to have from the 50s and 60s, I believe. Really glad to have that one. That one should be fantastic. And two really great models in here for the short term as well. We have the Southwest Airlines 737-500 in the desert livery. This has been a model that I've been after for quite some time now, and I'm really glad to finally have it. And last but certainly not least, one that I'm really excited to have is the Delta Airlines Doubles DC930 in the widget livery. All right, let's get into these. Alrighty, everybody, let's get things kicked off here with the Transworld Airways or TWA Convair CV880. So really unique aircraft here for the fleet. Honestly, I'm not as educated on these yet, but I most certainly will become that here in the near future. But I believe that these aircraft flew in from St. Louis into Tulsa back in the 50s, 60s, 70s time frame. So really cranking it back right here with this aircraft. I'm really excited to have this one. It looks really good, and let's just get into this. So it is a limited edition diecast model 1:400 scale from TWA for GeminiJets, believe it or not, which is really cool. Historic retro jets livery, so I'm not really very familiar with these older box designs, but I'm pretty sure that this was way back in the day for GeminiJets, so really cool to have these right here, which they look fantastic. TWA Convair 880, really cool. GJ TWA 535, pretty cool design there on the box, very unique. And like I said, this will be a very unique aircraft for my fleet. I'm really excited to have this one, and I'm really eager to see how I can utilize it. This is a 2004 release for Gemini, and of course has the American Airlines trademark due to the merger that took place 3 years before the model was released in 2001. I'm excited to see what this is all about. This is in the Twin Stripes livery, and like I said, this predominantly came in from St. Louis in the 50s and 60s to my knowledge so far, but more to come as we get it out right here. All right, so very unique aircraft. This is my very first Convair in general. Obviously I have a 580, but not a jet Convair, I should say. So very interesting to have one of these, and this looks really neat to say the least. Here is what TWA was all about way back when. Alrighty, everybody, here we go with the TWA Convair 880. What a unique aircraft right here. Was really not expecting it to look like this. I knew Convairs looked like this, but it's so much different finally having a model of one, so really glad to have this. I think this is some sort of iteration of TWA livery. I don't believe it's Twin Stripes, but it seems fairly similar, so maybe perhaps an iteration before that, but nevertheless, really excited to get into this, and let's see what this Convair is all about. Alrighty, guys, beginning up here, we have the nose cone right here, which looks very unique in the cockpit windows right here. Right here, we have some sort of detail right there in the nose landing gear, very unique to say the least. You also have the chrome fuselage there on the bottom, which is really cool. Here's the L1 boarding door that looks fantastic. You got TWA titles right here, and here starts the red, which looks really clean on this aircraft. I love the look at that. There's a very unique emergency exit right there at the front of the wing, which is very cool to see. No pad on this aircraft, but for 2004, more than acceptable to say the least. Here's the one-piece mold, which looks really good here, and how about those engines? Really unique right there. I was not expecting them to look like that, but hey, they look really good. You got the exhaust and everything in your simple details. You love to see it. They're so narrow. Here's the wing right here, and you also got TWA on it, which is so cool. Better look right there, which is fantastic. You also got your main landing gear, which are pretty unique. We'll get a better view here of that in just a minute. Here's an indentation in the middle, which is really cool. You got the rest of the main cabin here in the back door, and then the registration of this aircraft. Oh, there it is. I'm sorry, I couldn't see what this said right here, but the registration is November 802 Tango Whiskey, and here's the TWA on the tail with the US flag in the horizontal stabilizers. You also got a little piece pointing in as well. Reminds me of the E4B from the last video, which is really cool on massive unboxings. Here's the right side of the aircraft that looks fantastic as well. You do have a luggage door as well over here, and all those fun details. Top of the aircraft looks really nice right here, as you can see, with the metallic wings and TWA on both sides, which is really cool. And the bottom also looks really good too. You got the chrome there in the back, the main landing gear, and the GeminiJets logo. So overall, a really neat model, very interesting one. Starts out, like I said, I believe these flew in from St. Louis during the 50s and 60s. Very glad to have this and excited to see how we can utilize this at Tulsa in the near future and all my other projects. Next up the bat is the GeminiJets 1:400 scale American Airlines Convair CV990. So very similar to the TWA situation. I don't know as much about these, but they still seem pretty cool, and I'm very excited to see how we can utilize these. So I believe these came in probably from Chicago predominantly, but also probably from New York on the transcontinental service to San Francisco during the 50s, 60s, 70s era. Not particularly sure on the full details, but there are pictures of them at Tulsa from what I was able to see. So we got them here, and the timetables also said so. So we'll get more details in the near future, but here we go with the limited edition from GeminiJets. Speaking of which, that's what it says right here, diecast model 1:400. This time we have the Astrojet logo for American Airlines, the TWA final logo, and TWA transcript. GeminiJets made for collectors by collectors, historical retro jets livery. This is also the Astrojet livery, by the way, or I'm sorry, this is jet flagship. I didn't even get a chance to look, but when I saw it, I knew that it came there, and I had an opportunity to snag it from West Coast Diecast, so that was the intention here, and we'll most certainly find a use for it. And the other intention, of course, this is a 2004 as well with the American trademark, is that obviously anytime I get my hands on American Airlines aircraft, really no question. So glad to have some more jet flagships. My collection there is growing, so hopefully I can continue to grow that going into the near future. But let's see what the American Airlines Convairs are all about, and here it is. Really good looking so far. Glad to have this. This will be a great addition, like I said, probably coming in from Chicago, maybe a little bit of Nashville, but that was probably more 707 era if I had to guess, but we most certainly will be doing some research. But in the meantime, the American Convair CV990. Alrighty everybody, here's the American Airlines Convair CV990. Another interesting building block to say the least, but I'm very excited to have it, and we will see how we will utilize it. So let's get into this and see what it's all about. Alrighty boys, so here we go. Here's the nose cone, and then we got the orange right here leading into the cheek line, which is super cool. Cockpit windows and nose landing gear, very unique cockpit windows. How about that? Kind of reminds me of some, like maybe a bird or something. I really don't know. Very unique. Right here we have the American Airlines logo from the time. Very unique. Love to see it right there. Here's the L1 door, and then we have some sort of titles here. I can't see what they are, but they look fantastic, I'm sure. So really good right there. And then some sort of text right here. You also got the bottom with the gray underbelly, which is really nice. And then here we go into the American Airlines billboard titles. These look really cool in the jet flagship livery. Very unique to say the least right there, and I love to see it. Here's another really unique emergency exit on these Convairs, so I guess it's commonplace for these to be here on the front, which is really cool. And a little bit of a technology upgrade on the engines right here, which is really cool to see. And you also have whatever these are. I'm not exactly sure what those are, but they look really cool to say the least. You got the engines looking fantastic right there. Take a look at that. Love to see it. No exhaust on those, which is pretty interesting. Maybe that has something to do with the exhaust. I'm not sure, but you would think it's something like that, which is really cool. Here's the wingtip right there. It looks fantastic. Main landing gear. You also got the orange ailerons, which is really cool. Saw this on the DC-3 as well earlier this year, so still great to see it living on to this day. Main landing gear, like I said, and here's the back portion of the fuselage right here with the airlines right there, of course. Then you got the rest of the fuselage, and you got the 990 for Convair, and a beautiful looking tail right there with the L2 door, and then into the tail. Astrojet, I think the tail number is probably this blue part right here. Can't see it very well, but that's what I'm thinking. And American with the jet flagship and the orange rudder and horizontal the elevators on the horizontal stabilizer. The right side's also fantastic. You got the luggage door right here as well, and two in the back actually. How about that? This aircraft just looks absolutely amazing. Top of the aircraft looks really good right there. The groove is also present on the 990 variant, as you guys can see. And the bottom also looks really nice. You got the metallic with the GeminiJets and all that fun detail. Really cool model. So glad to have this one. It looks so nice, and just getting a different groove for American. You know, I'm so used to 1968, 2013 chrome livery, but man, I'm so glad to have another jet flagship aircraft. I'm sure this will be a great addition to my fleet, and I'm really eager to see how I can utilize this in the near future. Rock on. Alrighty everybody, next in line we have the GeminiJets 1:400 scale Southwest Airlines Boeing 737-500 in the desert gold livery. So I've been thinking about getting one or two more Southwest Airlines airplanes for the retro fleet. I kind of talked about this in 24, how I was getting close, but if there was a couple more, I would be willing to do them. And there was a couple more that I decided to go for. I think the collection is pretty much complete, and you guys will see towards the end of the video why. But we've made some significant progress, and I'm really glad to get to see these Southwest Airlines airplanes are going to be critical components in my very first 737-500 for Southwest. So really glad to have one. Was kind of leaning, I probably would have did Canyon Blue if I could have found one, but the Desert, this was a little bit more pricey than what I wanted it to be, but I decided to go for it. We'll take it, and it will work. So here we go. Limited edition diecast model 1/400 scale. Here is the aircraft itself. Southwest Airlines Boeing 737-500. Here is the trademark right there, or the license I should say, made for collectors by collectors, GeminiJets logo. Really cool Southwest Airlines box. It's actually GeminiJets 2, which is also very cool. GJ SWA 478. Here's the top, and then the right side of the box right here. The back of the box is very simple. Another 2004 release. How about 3 of them to start today? And really love to see it here with the Southwest Airlines 737-500. Excuse me. We've got some 300s in the past. So let's take a look at this one. So how about a piece of toilet paper for our plastic today? Pretty unique, but hey, we'll take it as long as we got some sort of model in there. And I believe I do see one, which really glad to have my very first 737-500, and I would not be opposed to getting more in the future, as this one looks fantastic. And here we have the GeminiJets 1/400 scale Southwest Airlines Boeing 737-500 in the Desert livery. This is a really good looking aircraft. I love the detail on this one. I'm really excited to take a look at it, and let's see what it's all about. Alrighty boys, so let's get started with this. So here are the cockpit windows, and then we have the black piece right here. I'm trying to remember, dang it, I forgot what this was called because I remember reading it. I think it was some sort of, not like heat protection. I'm trying to think of what it was. Dang it, I'm completely forgetting right now. I completely blanked on it, but somebody's probably going to correct me, so I apologize about that in advance. Here are the pitot tubes right here in the nose landing gear with the nose landing gear door. Here's the L1 boarding door, and then of course Southwest Airlines is all economy product. That's what you're going to find in this aircraft. You get the heart right here, which is really cool to get to see, and it looks fantastic. And what a great mold from GeminiJets. This is my, oh boy, this actually might be my first 737-500 for my collection. I didn't even think about that. Those were my first Convairs, but I think this is also my first 735 as well, which is bittersweet to say the least. But man, look at this mold. CFM engines just look so good here. They look amazing. I'm pretty sure they're CFMs. And then you got the emergency exit right there with the pad. Looks so good, man. Just look at that infrastructure right there, man. It looks so good. Here are the wings along with the main landing gear. They look so good in the one-piece mold. You can barely tell it's a one-piece. So cool. Registration November 504 Sierra Whiskey. So cool. And there is the tail as well. What a great looking aircraft. Delivery is so nice, man. I mean, I'm just so glad to have this. You got the baggage doors right there as well on both sides. Just such a beautiful airplane. You got the APU back there too. A really cool aircraft. Just so glad to have it. Definitely also looking for a Canyon Blue in the future, but we'll see what the budget says in the near future. But we are getting variety for the Tulsa lineup for Southwest, and they're most certainly going to be present along with this aircraft. Expect many appearances from it, and it will be a great aircraft to say the least. These also flew all the time to Kansas City, especially, and also Dallas Love Field. So that's where you're going to be finding this aircraft flying quite a bit. It is such a cool aircraft, and I am so glad to have this one. And another critical component has been locked up for the Retro Tulsa project, as we have the GeminiJets 1/400 scale Delta Airlines doubles DC-930 in the widget livery. Very glad to have this aircraft. Is this going to be a critical component? Like I said, Delta predominantly flew the doubles DC-9, 737-200, and 727-200 in Tulsa. One of those other aircraft will also be answered in this video. You guys will see here in a moment. Unfortunately, I'm still looking for the other, and I'm sure I'll come across one at some point. But yeah, we at least have the DC-9, which this was very commonplace on the Atlanta service particularly. I think these also did some Dallas-Fort Worth flights in the 90s as well. But this aircraft was doing 4 daily to Atlanta for several years on end during the beginning and the back half of its stretch with Delta. So it's a great aircraft. We most certainly will be finding it at the Retro Airport, of course. Hopefully paired up with some others as well, as you guys will see later in this video. We got the limited edition diecast model 1/400 scale. Here's the model itself. Delta McDonnell doubles DC-930. GeminiJets 2 once again. My GeminiJets 2 collection's really grown recently. GJDAL 477. Several aircraft here. Delta was in SkyTeam at this point. Registration's November 1274 Lima. Oh, sorry about that. We don't even need to open the packaging for the specs. We got our Pratt & Whitney JT8D7s on this aircraft, looking great. First flight, how about this? January 22, 1969. That's pretty crazy to think about. And then delivery February 26, same year. 2003 release DC-932. There's all your applicable specs as well. Just really cool to get to see this right here. And these started flying. Atlanta service started in 1977. And I think these flew until about 2000. So what a workhorse these were for Delta. And let's not even look at it. Let's just get it out and see what it's all about. Sheesh, dude, that is really nice. I am so glad to get to see that right there. What a beautiful looking Delta Airlines Douglas DC-9 in the widget livery. I believe this one of my first widget aircraft. I do have that in the 80 in the 1-200, but I think this is my first widget in the 1-400 if I'm recalling correctly. So what an asset to have right here. Alrighty, everybody, here we have the GeminiJets 2 1-400 scale Delta Airlines Douglas DC-932 in the widget livery. What a great I'm sorry guys, what a great void to fill, if I can talk today. Really glad to have this aircraft. Like I said, you're definitely going to be finding this on that Atlanta service, also some Dallas stuff as well. So glad to have this aircraft. It is a beautiful looking airplane and another DC-9 for the collection. Let's hop into this. Alrighty guys, so here's your cockpit windows, and once again this piece right here, I think it's to prevent heat like I said, but I'm forgetting it off top. Oh, anti-glare, that's exactly what it is. I'm pretty sure these are anti-glare. I am so sorry I missed on Southwest, but anti-glare, I'm pretty sure that's what that's for. So what an innovative design. I believe Delta was representing that here, so there we go. You got the nose landing gear right there. It looks super nice and tiny. You love to see it. And then the L1 boarding door, the Delta widget. What a cool aircraft livery. I know GeminiJets 1975 absolutely loves the Delta widget livery. He has so many in his collection, so there we go right there. It looks amazing right there. And then there are the Delta billboard titles, of course, with the very cool angle on the Delta font right there. I'm thinking that that's something like a 20-degree angle or so, but really cool nevertheless. It looks amazing. Got the US flag as well. And then, of course, a little bit of first class probably, and then your economy. That looks absolutely amazing. There are your emergency exits right there as well, and you got the pads that look amazing right here, along with the wings. Really good detail in the main landing gear. Also look good along with the stand hold down there. Not a ton of detail, but hey, you know, you love to see it right here. Registration November 1287 Lima, I think that is. I can barely read it, but there it is. And then of course you got the amazing JT8Ds right there that look absolutely amazing. Pratt & Whitney's. There's your Delta Airlines widget tail that looks so nice, and the horizontal stabilizer is also one piece. And really cool to have another DC-9. I got the TWA Continental DC-910, and I'm sure a couple others up there that are slipping my mind right now. But I'm so glad to have this one, man. It's a great airplane. It'll be a great addition, especially for that Atlanta service. Reminds me a ton of the 717 that we get today, and Delta just loves sending these mid-sized T-tail planes to Tulsa. What can I say? You can't complain with it, and you absolutely love to see it. Here is the top of the aircraft as well. Very nice detail in the bottom. You got the GeminiJets logo, the metallic underbelly. Really cool aircraft. So glad to have this one, and this will be a great addition for many years to come. Alrighty guys, so our next box comes from the one and only Waffle Collectibles, a really nice place to get model airplane restocks from various brands, and also a great place to get models as of late. They have improved their customer service drastically, it seems, from what I've heard, and I'm glad to get to see this. So yeah, really great right here, and I'm excited to get into this if I can. I'm really eager to see how we got going in here. Should have 3 models in here, and I'm very excited for all 3 of these as they will be great additions for the collection. So let's just pop the top and see what we have going inside. Alright, so the newspaper is coming in clutch, and here they come one by one. So here we go. Beginning with our first aircraft coming out, we have the Ron Allen Delta 737-800. I think I got this for like $35, but they did fly to Tulsa in this livery a little bit. Keep in mind, I did get the colors in motion, but the deal was really good, and there are some pictures online with this exact aircraft at TUL, so that's why I chose to go for that one. And it should be a great addition for the retro fleet in that department. Predominantly from Atlanta and Salt Lake City, by the way, I should say. Next up, oh boy, here we go. Man, been waiting for this one for a long time. The American Airlines Airbus A300. So glad to have this one. I've been on a hot pursuit for this for a long time, and luckily I was finally able to snag it up. This is the Dragon Wings rendition, but I've been trying for quite a long time. I tried also trying to get one from Aero Classics a few years ago that unfortunately did not work out, but kind of what happened. Also, I'm sorry if you guys saw the political newspaper. I can't do very much about that. That's just what the models come in, so sorry about that. Our last model in here is another very good one. If I can get this out right here, I guess we got more political newspaper. That's another Aero Classics DC-9. This is the Texas International Doubles DC-9. So glad to have this one. Texas International had a really cool presence at Tulsa. How about the 1945 item number? It's really cool. So I'm excited to get this one out as well, and it's going to be a great addition. Really neat box, by the way, as well. So let's get started with the Delta, and we'll progress. Alrighty guys, here we go with our first model. This is going to be the Dragon Wings 1:400 scale Delta Airlines Boeing 737-832 in the Ron Allen livery. So like I said, these flew to Tulsa briefly from 2000 to 2003, it would appear, pretty much until the 737-200 came and invaded Tulsa for Delta. These flew to both Atlanta and Salt Lake City, and this was a really cool aircraft for us. So glad to have this. There is a picture on the jet photos of this aircraft at Tulsa, which was really cool. Cart at gate 28, which is very cool. So I'm glad to have this one. Like I said, it was only like $30, so might as well. It's a great addition for the collection, and if I ever need to return on my investment, I can. But for the moment, here we go with the Delta 737-800, your typical Dragon Wings box. It's a nice picture of the aircraft at Atlanta. Credit to that photographer. But Delta Airlines 1:400 premium collection. Kind of miss Dragon Wings, but of course their products weren't necessarily stellar, so it's not like we're missing out on too much nowadays, even though I still think they're a pretty cool brand. The back of the box obviously similar to the front, and let's see what we have going here with the Delta 737-800. Got it in backwards here, so let's take it out from here, and here we go. So another Dragon Wing stand, and there it is. It honestly looks pretty good. I was also very pleased with the widget one, and again, this isn't your top-notch model for 2022 standards, but it's still really nice, and I'm glad to have this one. So let's get that plastic off if possible. Boom, and there we go. And here we have the Dragon Wings 1:400 scale Delta Airlines Boeing 737-800 in the Ron Allen livery. I believe they also call this one the interim livery, which is pretty interesting. It's a very interesting looking livery, but it's kind of simple, and I think it's pretty decent, even though, you know, Delta during those times wasn't, I think they were kind of quote unquote falling off. But nevertheless, we got this aircraft here. Glad to have it, and it's going to be a great addition. So let's see what it's all about. Alrighty everybody, here we go. We got the cockpit windows and then a really nice blue and red sheet line right here that looks really good. Got the L1 boarding door, nose landing gear, and nose landing gear door. Tires are pretty fragile, so definitely be careful with them. Landing gears do go up in the gear up configuration, which is nice. Here's the L1 boarding door, like I said, in Delta Airlines billboard titles. Of course, you got the darker blue with the lighter, more turquoise color, which is pretty interesting. Here is the front right here. Of course, you got the where the first class would be, and then economy plus into the economy, which is really cool. And here are the CFM engines. Dragon Wings' CFM engines honestly look pretty good here, so I'm glad to get to see that right there. You got the emergency exits right there, and also the emergency exit escape pad right there, which is really nice. No winglets yet, so some of the Colors and Motions did have winglets. I know many people want NG to make that, or Gemini or somebody, so one of those companies, please do it. And of course, you got some good detail throughout there in the main landing gear, also looking good too. And like I said, you can't put them into gear up. Registration, of course, the back is pretty simple, of course, with the metal bottom there, chrome bottom, and then the white top here with the blue cheat line. Registration is November 382 Delta Alpha. And the beautiful tail, probably the best part of the livery in my opinion. You got the blue and then just a little bit of red in the fleet number out there. Absolutely stunning plane. So glad to have this one. You got the baggage loaders here on the right side as well. Baggage doors, excuse me, and the aircraft right there. Just such a good looking aircraft. Top of the aircraft, nice and simple, not even a beacon. That's how far we're cranking it back right here. In the bottom, of course, you got the metallic right there, and it looks really good. So glad to have this aircraft. It's going to be a great addition. I'm so excited to see how we can utilize it, and honestly, from a glance, it looks pretty solid, so I'm glad to have it, and let's see how we can utilize it. Alrighty everybody, here we go with the Aero Classics 1:400 scale Texas International Doubles DC-9. How about this? So very excited to have this aircraft as well. Texas International had a really good presence at Tulsa for quite some time. They flew to Houston, I believe, which was a really cool route for them, and then of course Continental kind of integrated that from them. So really excited to have this aircraft. Like I said, it's going to be a very helpful asset, and I'm really surprised I was able to get one in the full livery. I was not expecting to be able to do this. I thought it was going to be some sort of Continental hybrid was probably what I was going to get. So really excited to have this aircraft, and it should be a really great one for the collection. So let's check it out. Aero Classics, here's the really cool hollow design. I don't think I've ever seen this from a manufacturer before do this, so this is really cool. Doubles DC-9, a very unique box. Of course, you got the yellow with a gradient out to the orange, which is really cool. Just a really unique cutout right there. It's so cool. Here's the 1:400 scale collectible model, doubles DC-9. Side the box, 1995 once again, or 1945, excuse me. Really cool looking box. Also, it's something's rattling there. I guess there must be a stand or something in there. So I'm eager to see what it is. Back is simple. Not sure when this came out, but I'm sure it came out at some point. So let's actually do it from this way and see what's in there, because I'm sure it's like a stand or something, to my guess. Oh, how about this? I was not expecting this. So yes, it is a stand, but the only problem is I only think it's one part of it. Dang it, man. So we're only going to get one part of the stand, which really sucks because I definitely would have used it. But yeah, but it has the really cool Aero Classics plate on it. And yeah, well, at least we have half the stand. So Aero Classics does live on. I guess I'll I'll probably put that out somehow. I don't know how I'll use it, but nevertheless, what we were really looking for is the model, as I'm very excited to have this one as we take the plastic off, and there it is. I was not expecting it to look like this. This is very interesting. How about this, guys? And here we have the Aero Classics 1:400 scale Texas International doubles DC 910. How about this? Or 15, or whichever one it is. So really excited to have this aircraft. Like I said, I believe these flew in from Houston in the late 70s into the 80s before the merger, which is really cool. Really glad to have this aircraft. It should be a great addition, and I'm excited to see what it's all about. Alrighty, everybody, so here we go. You got the cockpit windows and also the anti-glare right here, which is really nice. Got the red line into the white right here and the blue, which is really cool. L1 boarding door, and then the Texas International titles. The font's really interesting. I was not expecting it to be like that, but it looks really cool. I was really not expecting to get a Texas International in general because of how hard they are to find, so very appreciative of the Waffle restock right here. Got the US flag and also the emergency exit right here. That looks fantastic. Here are the wings. I think they look really good, so glad to see that detail right there. You also got the main landing gear too. Got the Gemini, or I'm sorry, there's where the stand will go. I'll show you guys that a little bit more in a minute. Here's the registration, November 302 Tango, or 1302 Tango, excuse me. And the really cool tail, of course, Texas International residing in Texas. Got to represent that Lone Star, and that's exactly what they did. Great mold here from Aero Classics. This is my first Aero Classics DC9, I believe, and it's really exciting to have one. Here's the right side with the small door right there as well, which is really cool, and the Lone Star in general. Top of the aircraft, very simple, barely even have speed brake detail right there, so there we go. In the bottom, that's where you would actually put the screw in, I think it is. Yeah, I'm pretty sure. Oh, I'm sorry, how about this? I was not expecting this. Who would have guessed? A screw is attaching this. So that is very interesting. The stand hole is there, but a screw attaches this aircraft. So this must be a really old aircraft, and it's so cool to see. It's a nice simple one, nice level wings. I'm a big fan. This is very impressive. What a model this is from Aero Classics. Was not expecting this from the really unique stand, which looks really cool. Of course, the screwed in nose right there, that is, or screwed in, I'm sorry, I was thinking about the nose landing gear moving here, but the screwed in wing piece right there, so cool, and it all attaches like that. The engines, I even think, are put onto the top there, so really interesting. Very glad to have this aircraft, and this is a really cool one to say the least. Alrighty, everybody, next up the bat is the Dragon Wings 1:400 scale American Airlines Airbus E300 605R. How about this? Been looking for one of these for quite some time. For a long time, it was mainly just for fun, but obviously now with the Retro Tulsa project, these being maintenance at Tulsa all the time, more critical than ever. It's going to be in several updates. I'm really excited to have this one, and it should be a great addition. So let's take a look. Typical Dragon Wings box at the American Airlines, limited edition to 1,000 units on this aircraft. You got the trademark right there, so very glad to have this one. There is the stick, or the item right there, which is really cool. 55232. Different designs here on the box. They look fantastic. Got some skylines and all that fun stuff. Here's the back, and yeah, let's not even waste any further time and see what an American Airlines A300 looks like. That's, oh man, the fuselage. Yes, I forgot. Hey, how about that stand? That is super cool. Take a look at this. This has never been opened, so I don't think I'm going to open it, but this is number 2074. How about this? So glad to have this one, man. It's going to be a great addition. Now, I know that they all had the gray top, but at this point, I was just looking for an A300. It was a very reasonable deal, I should say. Excuse me. And man, oh my, holy crap. Dang, I was not, that is some outstanding polish, and this is Dragon Wings, dude. Holy crap. And here we have the Dragon Wings 1:400 scale American Airlines Airbus A300. How about this? Was not expecting it to look this good, but man, Dragon Wings actually did a pretty good job here, and I am thoroughly impressed. So let's dive into this and see what it's all about. Alright, so beginning up here on the front, you got the cockpit windows and a really interesting piece right here. It's kind of grayish. Let me see if I can turn it so you guys can see it. Very interesting to say the least right there. So I'm not exactly sure what that's about, but that seems really cool. Then you have the Airbus A300 luxury liner titles. Of course, American Airlines did this with all their bigger planes, so this was really cool to get to see right here. Then you got the L1 door right here and the L2 door as well. And then you got the nose landing gear. Just, man, take a look at this polish, man. Dragon Wings absolutely killed it on this aircraft. You got the American Airlines billboard titles. Just looks so nice, man. Very pleased with that effort. That is fantastic. This is one of my first passenger A300s, if not the first passenger A300, so very glad to have this right here. Here are those engines. They look really good. Not the most detailed in the world, of course, but they still look fantastic. And then the main landing gear back there look absolutely amazing. There they are right there. And of course the wing, you would want possibly a little bit more detail here on the outside, but it's all good with the tips and everything. Still looks really good though. And of course you got some speed brake detail, but some flaps and slats as well. The main fuselage right here, of course, from the first class all the way back here to the economy. Looks absolutely amazing. So here's the L3 and L4 door. Then the gray cutoff happens there, and accidentally the landing gear came off, so I apologize. Actually, both landing gear just came off. But there's the American Airlines tail. Man, it looks so good, man. I'm so glad to get to see that right there. It looks absolutely amazing. And put on the landing gear here, and I'll show you guys the rest of this. Top of the aircraft looks super nice, man. That polish is so nice. I was not expecting it to be that good. And there is the bottom as well. You got your baggage doors on this side, cargo doors. So cool, man. What a great looking aircraft. I was not expecting it to look this good, but man, we will take it. What a job by Dragon Wings. Also, this really awesome American Airlines bus came with it. Super, super cool, and I'll definitely be utilizing it. What a nice touch to add on, and man, you can make a really good setup with this from Dragon Wings. Alrighty guys, so I had a really hard time choosing which one that I wanted to end with since we have 2 models left. This one is super, super good, but the next one I think I've wanted for years probably at this point. This is more of a retro Tulsa aircraft, but still a really cool one. So really excited for this, and this will be awesome. I ended up getting this aircraft off a guy off Facebook, which I very much appreciate his efforts here because this is a really awesome aircraft. So let me see if I can crack into this and see what we got going. Alright, so how about this? We get some sort of really cool styrofoam here, and there it is. It is the GeminiJets 1:400 scale Delta Airlines Boeing 727-200 in the widget livery. So this is the one that I was just talking about as well. Getting to continue on from the DC-9, now we have the 727. These were very commonplace at Tulsa, flying all the way, like I said, from 1977 in from Atlanta and also from Dallas as well. And these flew all the way up until I think 2002 or 3, somewhere in there. So you're going to be seeing plenty of these, and I'm really excited to have this one, so let's dive into it. Limited edition die-cast model 1:400 scale. Here's the aircraft itself, Boeing 727-200. Got the Delta down here. That's also a Shotcut release. I'm forgetting how to say that. I think it's Shotcut or something like that, which is really cool. Historic retrojet liveries. Getting more of those as the video progresses. Delta widget right here, GeminiJets. And here's the box November 4, 5, 8 Delta Alpha, which is really cool, and very glad to have this one. Like I said, this was very commonplace as well. Box is a little wore out, as you guys can see, but here's all of our applicable details. Crazy Think 1973 first flight day, 2001 release, and I'm really excited for this. So let's just dive into it, boys. Hey, how about this? So we got some additional details here, including a Southwest Airlines sticker, which is really nice. I think there is a McDonnell Douglas in there as well, and an Alaska sticker. So very much appreciated to the Facebook guy for sending those over. And we also get, of course, with a very, very faded plastic cradle, but a very good model in the GeminiJets 1:400 scale Delta Airlines Boeing 727-200 widget. How about this? And here we have the GeminiJets 1:400 scale Delta Airlines Boeing 727-200 in the widget livery. Very excited to have this one. It's going to pair up very nicely with the DC-9 right here. Very excited for this, and this will be a great addition to the collection. So let's take a look at it. Alrighty, so here's the cockpit windows, and then of course you got the front right here that looks absolutely amazing, and then of course you got the L1 boarding door in the widget right here, which is super nice. Got the gray underbelly right there, or the metal, I should say, however you'd like to word that. And here's the Delta Airlines billboard titles. They look absolutely fantastic. A little bit of first class takes you into the economy section on this aircraft, which is looking absolutely amazing. Then you got the emergency exits right here that looks super nice, in the pads right there, which is absolutely awesome. Then of course you got the wings that look super good, and of course the main landing gear right there. Really expanding on the 727 collection in the next retro unboxing, excuse me. We'll see even more of that going into the future as well. Really good job there on the emergency exit pad. That looks absolutely amazing right there. Super nice detail right there. And our registration November 458 Delta Alpha. Here's the beautiful Delta widget tail. Of course, you got these the L2 door right there, the engines, all 3 of them looking amazing, and then the tail itself, the horizontal stabilizer one-piece mold, just looks so good, and I'm so glad to have it here. Right side of the aircraft's also fantastic. Got the baggage door right there as well, and all of those other applicable details in the door here on the right side, and everything in between. Top of the aircraft looks super good right there. You got the really interesting part down there on the bottom that we assessed in Mass Unboxing 24 with the arrows. Glad to have another 727 here, and we're really building on this fleet super nicely. And on the bottom, you got the screw co with the GeminiJets logo, the stand hole, and also this must have been like some sort of company store or exclusive release because it has the copyright 2001 Delta Airlines. So how about that? But what a stunning aircraft. So glad to have this one, and this is a great addition to say the least. Our last model today comes from Waffle Collectibles, and it's certainly a bittersweet one because I've been really looking forward to getting this aircraft for quite some time. I didn't necessarily about give up at times, but there was just times where I was like, Maybe I'll get it, maybe I won't. And I was really trying, especially back from 2012 all the way up until 2018, and then obviously with the retro project, it kind of re-sparked my interest to try, because I lost out on so many bids way back when. But you guys will see what I'm talking about here in just a moment. And it is, like I said, from Waffle. Let's see if we can get it out right here. It's going to be a tough one. Let's see if I can knock this out. Oh man, I don't even know how you got that in there. There we go. Oh, dang it. I thought so. There we go. Got it. We have the GeminiJets 1:400 scale, Southwest Airlines Boeing 737-300 in the Canyon Blue livery without winglets. So, as you guys know, I do have the winglet version, but with the without winglets version is also very special to me as well, since I got to fly a few of these, and just in general, they're really cool airplanes, and I'm so excited to have this aircraft. And it's going to be a great addition to the collection. I've been looking for it for years, especially before the especially before the 737-300s got retired. So glad to have this at long last, and let's take a look at it. GeminiJets made for by collectors. Here's the CGI of the aircraft, Southwest licensing, Boeing 737-300. Really good build on this one as well. They usually sell for quite a bit, so really glad to have this one. It's a really cool aircraft. There's your item number right there for Waffle, and then GJ SWA 460 2009 release, and I'm really excited to have this one at long last. So let's just get into this. And of course, you guys know Southwest Airlines coming in from Kansas City, Phoenix, Denver, Dallas Love Field, Houston Hobby, Las Vegas, Phoenix, all those fun destinations, and Orlando for 2006 as well, I believe, or whichever year it was. I think it was 2006. But nevertheless, here we go with the 737-300, and man, bittersweet to finally have it. Dang, man. I know it's only winglets that are different, but the old mold and everything, it's cranking it back. There's no other way to put it. Just take a look at this. And here we have the GeminiJets 1:400 scale, Southwest Airlines Boeing 737-300 in the Canyon Blue livery without winglets. So glad to have this one. What a bittersweet way to round out this unboxing. Man, such a great model right here. So glad to have this one, and you're most certainly going to be finding it in several Tulsa updates to come. Let's dive into this. Alrighty, everybody, so here we go. We got the cockpit windows right here in the windshield wiper detail. I think it's also on there, which is super nice. The nose cone, and then of course you got the yellow cheat line in the red and blue, and just such a good looking livery. Nose landing gear, of course. Southwest Airlines, this reminds me of so many OG airport updates on YouTube, man. This is just what it's all about right here. You got the emergency exit right there with the path right there in the CFM engines. That looks super, super good, in the exhaust right there as well. The beautiful leveled wings right there as well in the main landing gear. GeminiJets, man, this is so amazing. You got the speed brakes right there and the flaps and slats. Then, of course, you got the back right here with the registration November 330 Sierra Whiskey. The L2 door right there in the, of course, red panning up there with the orange and everything, and that pans all the way up to the top. The horizontal stabilizers, and of course the APU and all that fun detail. It's so nice, man. Just take a look at this. Right side of the aircraft, of course, you got your baggage doors and all that fun stuff. This is just such a good looking aircraft. I mean, just take a look at it a little bit, a different perspective right here. Just so nice, man. I'm so glad to have it. Top, you got a beacon right there, which is really nice, and then on the bottom, you got the GeminiJets logo, and just, this is absolutely outstanding. This is so nice. So glad to have this one. What a great way to round this unboxing, and just such a pretty model, man. So many memories of Southwest 737-300s without winglets. So glad to have this one, and what a great building block to round out today's unboxing. Alrighty, everybody, just like that, another massive unboxing is in the books. I really hope you guys enjoyed this one. Really nice retro unboxing. We really covered all eras today. We went all the way back to the 50s and 60s, but we also got some stuff that got retired as late as 2017. So let's just take a look at all this here. So start over there with that Texas International DC-9. That's a critical asset. Very happy to have that. And the more airlines we can knock out for the retro updates, the better. So I'm really glad to get that one. Got the Ron Allen Delta 737-300 in the intern livery, of course, or whatever you'd like to call it, Ron Allen intern, something like that. Very glad to have that one, and even though it's going to serve a minor purpose, it'll be a great addition to say the least. The Delta Airlines 727 and DC-9, they speak for themselves. So glad to have that pair. Hopefully I can get a 737 to go along with those, but really glad to have those. Those will be great additions, and I'm really excited to get to utilize those for Atlanta and Dallas, but Atlanta especially with the amount of frequencies they operated there on those airplanes. The TWA Convair C80 880, excuse me, and American Convair CV990 are very unique additions, obviously from way back when. I'm sure my knowledge will increase on those in the near future, but I'm very glad to have those, and those will be great additions in general. The American Airlines A300 certainly exceed my expectations. I'm so glad to finally have one of those. I've been on a hot pursuit for one for a very long time, and it's really bittersweet to finally have one, especially in such a good condition right there. And lastly, our two 737 classics for Southwest, the 500 Desert and the 300 Canyon Blue, are going to be awesome in general, and that really rounds out the retro fleet for Southwest, because obviously I have the 737-700s I can utilize. I have the 737-200 in desert livery, and I have the California 1300 Canyon Blue Tail, and of course my Panda 737-300s with the silver one, also the desert livery too. So my desert collection, how about that? I have the 737-200, 737-300, 737-500, and 737-700, and hopefully to come the Max 8 in the 1-400 scale, as Gemini announced as a future release. So very excited for those. But NG also yesterday announced their new Max mold. So which one shall we get? That is to be determined. But for the moment, how about this assortment of aircraft? Again, I really hope you guys enjoyed today's unboxing video. Thank you guys so much for watching. 27 will be back to modern aircraft. That'll be predominantly the new NGs, 737-800s. Trying to think of what else would be that in that. American 737-800, Southwest, all the Tennessee one, Colorado one, Illinois one, all that fun stuff. The American 787-8 should be in there, and the Velo 737 from Gemini, and then pretty much anything else that comes up. So very excited for that. I hope you guys are as well. But with that being said, that'll do for today's video. Thank you guys so much for watching. I really hope you guys enjoyed today's video. My name is Redriveraviation. I want to thank you guys so much for watching. Take it easy, everybody. Stay safe. Trust the process. Do you love and love what you do? My name is Redriveraviation. I want to thank you guys so much for watching, and I'll see you guys soon, as Redriveraviation is signing off.